This first one is called the angular exercise. You're gonna go finger 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm starting on fret 10. You're also going up strings, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 down from that third string, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you do that same thing off the middle 4 strings. Same thing off the top 4 strings. Middle again. Bottom 4 again. Then you shift over and do the reverse 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you just move down and keep that pattern going. It's amazing for right hand alternate picking if you're using a pick or finger style in whatever finger combinations you want to use. And it's great for strength, dexterity, flexibility of the fretting hand. Do you ever feel like it's difficult to get all your fingers to move at the same time when landing on a new chord shape for a chord change instead of putting one finger down, then the next, then the next? Well, I have an exercise for you that will help with all of your chord changes. I call it the angular chords exercise. We're gonna do fingers 1, 2, 3, 4 on frets 9, 10, 11, 12, and you're going up the string. So it's this shape right here. But it's all at once. You pluck it or strum it, doesn't matter. Now you flip the fingers around so the pinky's on the bottom, the first finger's on string 3. You do that same thing on the middle 4 strings, then top 4 strings, then middle again, then bottom 4 strings, then you go down a fret, you do it again, but now the pinky starts on the bottom. So you're hopping your fingers, having to change all at once. You just move it down the fretboard this way, and it's amazing for chord changing technique. Here's a sweeping or chord rolling exercise that I really love. We're gonna do this shape on the bottom 6 strings, and we're gonna sweep up. And then you're gonna flip your fingers around, so your first finger's on string 3, pinky's on string 6, and sweep down. Or rolling the fingers if you're doing finger style. And rolling backwards is really great to practice too, even though it's less common. You're gonna do that, and then you're gonna do the same thing on the middle 4 strings. Same thing on the top 4 strings, middle 4 strings, bottom 4 strings, and then shift down, start the same thing but pinky on the bottom first. What I love about this, other than the sweeping technique, is that it forces us to line up our fingers, landing exactly when the string is coming down at rapid speeds, and it helps with the coordination between the two hands in a great way, whether you're sweeping or doing the finger roll technique. Number 4, this is the best exercise, I think, for hammer-ons and pull-offs. We're gonna do every finger combination anywhere you want on the neck. We're gonna go finger 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, hammer on, up and down the strings, then 1, 3, then 1, 4, slow down where you need to. Then start on finger 2 and do every combination. So now 2, 1 has to be a pull-off. Make sure to pluck down for the pull-off. 2 to 3, 2 to 4. Then every combination off 3. 3, 1 is pull-off. Pull-offs are usually going to be slower at first, especially. 3 to 2 is going to be really hard, those 2 fingers, and then you just keep going. 3 to 4, and then every combination off of finger 4, and that's, I think, the best hammer-on and pull-off exercise, and it will help your slurs, the hammer-ons and pull-offs, be much cleaner on the guitar. So I hope you benefit from that. Here's a finger independence exercise. For some reason, this exercise is really difficult for most guitarists, even experienced ones, and it helps with finger independence, finger strength, and just dexterity, flexibility in general. It's very simple and easy and fun to work on. Make sure you don't squeeze too hard. But you're gonna play a power chord 1, 5, or finger 1, 3, and then you're gonna do that same shape with fingers 2 and 4, up a half step. And then you're gonna go up to the next string and do the same thing, and keep going. And then you shift up when you get to the top string and you go backwards, and that's all it is. Give it a try. If it's difficult for you, do it lightly, and for even a few days in a row, and you'll notice a big increase in just your fitness of your fretting hand. So I hope you enjoy that. If you need to practice that, here's a technique exercise that is absolutely miserable. It's really difficult, but amazing for our technique. It's kind of like drinking a smoothie that tastes really bad, but it's gonna make you live 20 years longer. This is called the fixed finger exercise. You're gonna fix your fingers 2, 3, 4 on string 3. I'm doing 5th fret position, but do it anywhere. And then you have your first finger free, and you're gonna play the 5th and 2nd string, and then the outer 2 strings. Then you do that with every finger combination. You fix everything but 2, and then you reach for those strings, and then you do it with your 3rd finger free. And then the hardest part is you do this with 2 fingers at a time. You fix 2 fingers, you do every finger combination. Now finger 1 and 2 are free, and you play strings 5 and 2, and then flip it. Then you do the outer 2 strings. And then you do that with every finger combination. And it is going to strengthen your hand like crazy. Take it light, take it easy, don't hurt yourself, but it will increase your fretting hand strength an amazing amount if that's something that you need. Here's a very famous exercise that is for our technique. It's called the spider exercise. It goes like this. It's a little hard to describe, but once you get the hang of it, it's quite simple and very, very good for our technique. We're going to play an octave shape on the 5th string and the 1st string. So it's like this, like you're playing a C chord, but it's your 1st finger and 3rd finger. You do that same physical shape up a half step with your other 2 fingers. Okay? Then you're going to take your finger 1 and 3 and play, this is a 10th interval shape, fret 1, fret 3, string 5 and 2. Then you do the same shape with these 2 fingers. Okay, so the top is going da 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 da. Then you shift it up and go backwards. And you just go up the neck this way. It's called the spider because, well, it kind of looks like a spider crawling up the fretboard. Really good for our technique. You can always adapt it and do it on different strings so it doesn't reach so much, but excellent exercise. It's famous for a reason. Not kidding, this is about the very best exercise ever, and technique is important because it's the barrier for playing actual music. So a lot of people know tons of information, but they don't have the technique down to make it actually sound good. So we want to work on technique. All the exercises I showed are amazing exercises, but the very best exercise ever, this is undisputable, is the one that you actually need. So knowing what you need, figuring out your limitation, what's holding you back when you're trying to play your actual music, your goal in music, you're practicing, whatever it is, figure out what the limitation is that you need to work on, then find or invent an exercise that solves that problem, and that's the very best thing you can possibly be practicing. So if one of the exercises that I show you is getting towards a weakness that you have and fixing something, then you're practicing the best thing you can. If it's something else, figure out what that is, go and practice that. And in general, if we practice that way, we will find a lot more fulfillment and improvement in our music journey.